But wait, what's your favorite? What did you say your favorite candy was?
I mean, probably Reese's.
Okay.
Anything chocolate.
So favorite.
I love chocolate.
Favorite holiday is Halloween, and your favorite candy is Reese's.
Absolutely.
It just sounds like you're copying me. What's your fiance's name?
Aaron.
See? Oh my god.
Trick question. I am not engaged
See?
or in a relationship.
But you got
I love
those
it.
wicked
it's my
nails.
Choice.
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. It's time to get a little Fronky up in here. This is Let Me Be Fronk.
It's time to get funky. We're all getting funky. It's time for a Lisa Fronk. A Lisa Fronk.
Let me be Fronk.
Hello, and welcome back to Let Me Be Fronk, a talk show I started to spotlight creatives, brilliant minds, and heart of gold humans, set right here in my living room because the rent in New York is way too damn high. Our next guest on Let Me Be Fronk is a Brooklyn-based motion design artist and live stream host. Move over, Variety. We're serving a showrunner on Showrunner Special today. He's currently producing and hosting File New for Adobe Live. You can catch new episodes every Wednesday for news in creator, art, and technology spaces. It's a great watch, trust. Aside from being a hunky whiz, he's a proud cat dad, engaged man, Billie Eilish stan, king of perfect posture, and longtime member of the Disney adult community.
Great.
When he's not streaming like a dog, you can find him being a devoted fiancé, building an intergalactic town called Asteroid Fields, consuming many genres of art, planning his next visit to the Rainforest Cafe, throwing the occasional party, or bar bopping with one of his many friends. He's the type of friend everyone wants to have, and I feel so lucky to call him mine. Please welcome to Let Me Be Fronk, my friend and neighbor, Ryan Selvy!
Oh, okay, yeah. Wow, you got my maiden name in there.
You told me to call you that
I
for the
wasn't
record.
expecting for you to actually do it, though.
And I did. Ryan, how the hell are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm very excited to be doing this. It's
Okay.
been a long time coming, but not really because this is only my, I believe when this come out, it'll be my 11th episode, but I've been saving
Double
to have you
digits?
on. Yes. How do you,
Mhm.
yeah.
How do I feel about double digits? Let me be Fronk.
Do you
They're
have
good.
Any, do you have
Like
any
'em.
strong opinions or feelings about
Love
being
them.
episode 11?
Love them.
No. As I mentioned in the intro, this is very much Ryan's real house. He has a great show of his own. He live streams. He's done all kinds of cool things on YouTube. We'll get to it. But I first want to start off this little chat, if you will, with our very incredible meet cute story.
Okay.
So I want you to tell the story from your perspective. And then right up to the moment we meet, I'll like start giving my perspective. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So Ryan, how the hell did we meet?
How did we meet? It was COVID. So we were all locked into our apartments, and I was regularly just leaving the apartment to go check the mail. And when I went downstairs, there was a plaque on the floor, and it was a box, and I knew the exact size of it, and I could tell that it was YouTube. And I was like, I know what that is. That is definitely a YouTube plaque. It is very obviously marked out as a YouTube plaque. And it was just laying on the ground. We have boxes in our little lobby area
Yeah.
where you can put packages. And
Yeah.
it like didn't even have one of those. It was just on the ground. So I was like, I need to see who this is. Because obviously, like, this is not something to just be left here. So I looked
That
at
mail
it.
person didn't give a flying finna.
No,
They just went.
Yeah, no, it was that period of also COVID where it was like every single day there was a jungle of
Packages
boxes.
because
Yeah.
everyone was mad or yeah.
And so I brought it up to the apartment, which I'm not going to say the number of,
He looked at the address.
and knocked on the door. And
Actually, no, you didn't knock on the door. This is where I was actually locking my door on my way out.
oh,
And then I see this nice, handsome gentleman around the corner, and he's holding the box, and it says YouTube all over it. So I immediately know what it is. And he's like, "Hi, are you Alyssa Fronk?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And he's like, I found this, like, I think this is for you." And I was like, "Oh my God, do you work for YouTube?" Like, I thought YouTube had sent a representative to deliver a YouTube plaque for me.
Mr. YouTube sent me.
So then I was like, "Oh, do you work for YouTube?" You're like, "No, my name's Ryan. I live in the building." You said your unit number. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. I can't believe this was down in the lobby." And you're like, "Yeah, I could tell this is valuable, and I didn't want it just laying down there getting swiped." And then you said, I'm sorry, I don't want to be nosy, but like, what do you do? Why did is this what I think it is? And I said, yeah, I worked for Now This at the time, and the YouTube channel had hit over 1 million subscribers. So, you know, we got a plaque, and they just said I could have it sent to my apartment since we weren't going to the office at the time. Cause like you said, it's COVID. This was 2021.
Heard of it, yeah.
And he like was hyping me up so much. He was like, dude, that's awesome. Oh my God. Like, he was so excited for me. And I was like,
I hadn't talked to anybody all day. Or
I was
all
just
week,
like-
probably.
no, it was such a nice interaction. I was just like, not this guy being so nice and so cute. And then we like started talking, and then you're like, yeah, my boyfriend. And I was like, yes, I'm an ally. Like, I'll not hit on you. Got it. We're good. And now we
And the rest is history.
the rest
Where's
is
the
history.
plaque now?
I had to give it back.
You had to give it back, and you did? You didn't say that it just never showed up?
Well, to be fair,
Would've
it's not,
swiped that.
I can't fully take credit for it because it definitely was a team
Yeah.
effort, like producers making content, yada 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 yada. But it was bittersweet to let that go
No, for sure.
because
Now we're just focusing on the next one.
so now I'm gonna get my own.
Yeah. I'll have to deliver it too.
Please,
It'll be perfect.
If you don't,
Full circle.
no, honestly, I'd weep.
Oh.
I would weep. But yeah, that's how I met Ryan. And spoiler alert, we're neighbors, but absolutely don't try to find out where we live or I will sue you. And I have to say,
For what?
for finding me, for stalking.
Oh, okay. All right, got it.
Does that make sense? Anyways, but yeah, you're my neighbor, now turned friend.
Yeah.
Dear friend, may I add?
That's a hard F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and your fiance both are very near and dear to me. I've been very, very lucky to make and have the neighbor friends I do in this building. I love living here. I've lived here for 5 years. You've lived here for about the same.
6 years. No, 5 years. 5 years, 6 years.
I think
2019.
I think we moved in the same year, but the gag was we didn't meet each other till like 2 years into living here.
Yeah.
I never saw this kid.
But COVID was a thing, so.
Right. And we were all holed up in our apartments and whatever. So, Ryan, I want you to take us back to the beginning. Kind of paint the picture of your life, if you don't mind. Let's get the audience, let's let them in on who the hell Ryan Selvy is. So let's first start with childhood, upbringing, early
Okay.
days.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I fell out of a window.
Did you really?
Did you not know that?
No.
Oh, yeah. I fell out of a window when I was really young and had to get medevac to the hospital. So that was a thing. That's
This
cool.
is crazy that this is the start of the interview. I feel like I'm watching Game of Thrones, but like,
What?
like when he fell out the window, I was like,
Yeah, I didn't tell you
okay.
that somebody pushed me. It was just a bedroom window. And I think I was on a bed and it was near an open window with a screen in it. And I just crawled over to the screen and pushed out the screen and rode the screen down.
Did you fall one story
Yeah, I was on the second story.
and you survived?
And I
You
survived
have to tell a tale. Your poor parents, they must have been
Yeah.
absolutely traumatized. Do you remember?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing.
So I guess that's a start. And we could talk about
So
all the
you
times
got-
I almost died.
You got off to, is this a thing
Yeah,
with
I
you?
feel like I've almost died a lot.
You've had a lot of near-death
I got
experiences.
sucked out to the ocean one time.
Tell us everything.
I was like under 5, I think. And I was like playing in the waves at night. We had like gone to the beach to take pictures.
Brave.
Well, we had gone to take pictures. Like that was such a 90s thing, like taking
Yeah.
pictures on the beach. And we
Yeah.
were playing in the waves and I lost my footing, but the waves were rough. So I just didn't know how to swim and it just sucked me out into the ocean.
Jesus.
And then my uncle jumped in the water and just fished around. And luckily he found my body and just pulled me out.
Like you were underwater.
Yeah. I couldn't
That's
swim. I was like a
absolutely
few years old.
terrifying.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
So
Why do you think you've been so prone to so many near-death experiences?
I have the hit on me, clearly.
We need to get your energy cleansed or something. Because you know what I immediately thought of? I immediately thought of that time, I think you, and not to bring this up, this is hard to talk about, the panic attack. And then you were
I was like, which one are we going to talk about?
Like on that, didn't you, something, you had a panic attack. You were on a highway.
Oh, yeah.
You fell on the ground and passed out.
Yeah.
That was one of the first stories you ever told me.
Oh, God. That was really one of the first stories I told you?
Maybe not first, but
Wow.
when I
Wow.
met you, you were at the time living with one of your best friends, Blair. And you told me about that story of how she had been there for you. And
She had literally just signed my health documents because we were going back up to New York because it was Christmas. It was right after Christmas. We were driving back up to the city. And my mom was like, well, since you're so far away from town, you should have a health by proxy. And I hadn't been dating my fiance for very long at that point. So I gave it to my roommate, who was my best friend. And she signed the papers. And then we got in the car. And then on the drive up, I got car sick and then got out of the car and then was panicking and passed out. And Apparently, I was a jerk.
Okay, so you are from Maryland, if you feel
Yes,
safe to share.
yes, safe to
Okay.
share.
What was Maryland like growing up?
It's Maryland. Oh God, I'm gonna get people come out of Maryland. Maryland is an interesting state. It's got a little bit of everything. It's America in miniature.
Okay.
That's what they call it. Or they also call it the Old Line State, but I don't really want to talk about that.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
They, yeah, I grew up in suburbia.
Cute.
Yeah.
I know very little about Maryland. It wasn't until I met you that I met a million people from Maryland.
Yeah, I guess I know a few people.
Yeah. Your family. You are the youngest.
The youngest.
You have 2 older sisters.
We're gonna go through all my security questions.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
You
what's
don't, you don't have to say that.
What's your mother's
I'm going to
maiden
cut
name?
it out. I don't need to know Pam's maiden name, okay?
Oh, ooh, okay.
Shout out Pam Selvy. I hope your family tunes in and watches
Yeah,
this.
we'll see.
You're the youngest
Yep.
to 2 sisters. That's why you love women and you respect women
That's why. Yeah.
because they obviously did, they
Yeah,
had a great influence over you.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean,
What was high school like?
oh, high school, man.
Did you
Middle
fit
school-
into a typecast of any?
Oh, I was a theater kid.
Tell me more.
I was just a
I didn't know that.
theater nerd. Yeah, no, that was my social circle was theater nerd. I did all the shows.
Oh my gosh. Can you
Did
sing?
you? No, so I didn't really like it. I would have much preferred to just act and dance, but I really didn't like dancing that much. I kind of just liked acting.
I'm kind of blown away. I didn't even know because Aaron, his fiance, is more the dancer
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
relationship,
no, I
like
was
a
never a dancer
literal
like that.
dancer.
No.
I did not know this.
Don't make me plie.
I'm kind of surprised you weren't
Don't
more
make me plie.
plie right now. I'm kind of surprised you weren't doing more tech stuff and lighting and
Oh, I know,
things
right?
like that. That seems like more of your wheelhouse. But I loved
Total nerd.
that you were front and center on stage. Were you ever a lead?
Oh, I was lead all the time.
Okay, give us the deets. Like, what was the play? What was the lead?
Okay.
Were you
Did I
like
go through all of
Romeo and
them?
Romeo and Juliet?
I was. Who was I? I was Cat in the Hat and Seussical. I know. There's some bad pictures. I was
And
the
we'll
candlestick.
be posting
in
them on
Beauty and the-
YouTube.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. They've actually been taken off of YouTube.
I'm going to reach out to his parents to get them.
No. I was essentially in drag, for the candlestick when I did Beauty and the Beast. I had to wear like
You were Lumiere.
Lumiere. Yeah.
Lumiere.
I did a
Wow.
horrible French
Iconic.
accent that I'm sure did not age well.
Give me your best line.
No, God, no.
Come on, do
I
it.
don't know. Oh, God, no.
All right, fine.
Let me be Fronk. No.
No, that's not what it is. That's not how you do it. We're not there yet. Please let me
Strike it from the record.
listen.
Please let me host.
I'm in the host seat today.
Hi, I'm Ryan. This is Let Me Be Fronk.
He is coming for my show. He's trying to come for my job.
Yep. Fronk stands for Ryan only now K.
Perfect.
Okay.
So you were a theater kid, love that, and then you went to college.
Yeah. I went to art school down in Baltimore.
You want to name
Maryland
drop?
Institute College of Art.
You went to
Micah.
ever heard of it?
We'll see if it's still open by the time that this.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is it not doing well?
They're going through a little bit of something right now.
Oh,
But all art schools are, because when the pandemic happened, like, who was going to spend that much money to sit in a room and be like, look what I painted?
that's
know.
depressing.
So
I
it's
know
good.
what Micah's School of Art is because Abby Jacobson went there.
Yes, she did. I was not there at the same time, but
Bummer.
It was fresh. It was fresh when I went in.
Because Broad City was
Bread. Yeah,
the
Broad City.
show
I almost
at
said
the
Bread
time.
City. Bread City was hot.
I fucking love Bread City.
Yeah, rise into the occasion.
What was
What was
college
Micah
like
like?
for you?
Oh man, it was art school. It was so art school.
Was it fun?
It was fun. There's some stuff that I wish would have been better about. There
Mm-hmm.
was some stuff that I felt like I was too cool for, or I don't know. Hindsight's always 20/20. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But it's just like anything else. It's a school with its whole range of people. There are snooty people. There are really nice people.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who didn't shower. We called it the Micah smell.
Wow.
Yeah, but I feel like that'll be anywhere you go. You know what I mean?
I
So,
feel like you made quite a few friends in college and you've maintained a lot of the relationships because I've met quite a few of your college friends.
Yeah. I still talk to a smaller handful than I would like, but
Yeah.
a decent amount. If I were to run into people, it'd be nice to see them. But
You're really good at keeping up with people and connecting just in general. I was not embellishing my intro at all. Like Ryan really is a great friend.
well, I think
and
it comes
people love
from you have to go through so many people.
Yeah.
And so when you finally
Yeah.
find people that you're like, okay, cool, I vibe with you, I can trust you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to get rid of that. And maybe there's something where I should get rid of some. But
So, not to talk about one of your deepest traumas, but when did the spine situation come into play?
the spine situation is old news.
So, something interesting about you, you underwent a massive operation. And why I always remember this about you is because I myself went through a massive operation when I was a kid, and I feel kind of bonded through that way. So, tell us about that. What happened?
Well, they found it out through the whole window falling thing.
No way.
So like that in itself is this weird, like perfect universe.
You were meant to fall out of that window
Yeah, and because I fell out of that window
as a baby.
we were in Maryland, and Maryland means that I got flown to Hopkins.
John Hopkins.
Yeah, which is one of the best in the country.
Heard of
and
it?
because it like got in the newspaper and it was a big deal.
I'm sorry, there was media attention.
There was media. I still
from
have
your
the newspaper.
fall out the window.
Yeah.
Okay, we will be showing this on YouTube if I can
well,
get
I'm
my
gonna
hands
have
on
to find
it.
It's at home somewhere. Not here home,
I'm
but like home.
determined. I'm gonna try my very best, viewers.
Oh gosh, okay. But because of that, then the spine doctor at Hopkins was like, "I will treat him."
Nice.
So, because when they did the scans for me, they were like, "Yeah, he's fine from the fall, but he has weird missing bones, extra bones, blah 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 blah."
Is that like a type of condition?
I don't know
Is
if
there
it
a
has a
technical
specific
term
name.
for it?
It isn't quite scoliosis because it
Okay.
was like its own thing, but it was like kind of like scoliosis. And so we watched it for a while, for a few years, and then he was like, "Looks fine. If anything happens during puberty, let me know." And then, lo and behold, big old puberty. Uh, I got out of the shower and I could see that his shoulder was higher than the other one. So
Oh wow.
I was
So
like,
it
okay.
didn't impair your ability to walk or move or cause pain?
Yeah, well, it would have apparently, but they didn't know that until we had the surgery. The surgery ended up being like 3 hours longer than it was supposed to be, and they were like, "Oh, like when we moved one part of the spine, it moved the rest," and like it was pinching a spinal cord, and had we not done it, he would have been
God.
paralyzed.
Oh
and-
Jesus.
yeah,
Oh
so,
my
like,
God.
so fun.
Wow.
Yeah, but that
And-
was
And then they put a rod in your back.
2 rods.
Not two rods.
It's like 2 chains. 2 rods.
I was not gonna make that joke, but the white boy did it. So applause, everyone.
I was 2 chains
No,
one year for
that's kind of-
for Halloween.
Were you really?
Yeah.
I was a trap queen one year for Halloween.
Oh really? What'd you do for
Like-
Trap Queen?
I dressed like a queen and I had traps all over my cape.
Okay, yeah. So
Mouse
you did
traps.
the pun thing. That's what we did. We got
Yeah.
yellow pool noodles and made really big chains, and then
That's
my
fun.
one buddy was one chain and I was the other chain.
Ugh, don't you love Halloween?
I love Halloween.
And spooky season is upon
Frickin'
us.
bats.
Thank God. Freaking bats.
You know the story about how I followed her around?
No.
No.
You know she's like a full teenager now.
Now she's like a full teenager. Yeah, but I
I grew up too fast, internet kids.
I had a campaign with her back in.
I'm sorry.
It was not me. It wasn't like Ryan Selvy. It was through the agency that I was working at, and we were like doing an activation for 20th Century Fox,
Uh-huh.
21st Century Fox, whichever
Okay.
one it is.
Heard of it?
And we were redoing like an anniversary for Home Alone 2. And so we went to the plaza and like had her reenact all the stuff. Oh, I just hit the mic.
So fun. That's a really good, cute idea.
Yeah, but I learned that I hate working with children because it felt awful. It was horrible.
Was she a diva?
She was so cute. She was wonderful, but she was
Oh.
a child. And it was
Okay.
like, okay, film. And so when a strange man with a camera is in your face telling you to film, like, you know, and you're like 4 years old.
She
Like,
was a little intimidated.
It was intimidating.
sounds.
She was like the
Okay.
most authentic and like chill and hilarious when she was just talking to her mom.
Yeah.
Or if her mom recorded something. But as soon as we started recording it,
Yikes.
made it really hard.
So how did it turn out?
it turned out okay. It turned out good
Okay.
enough. We got what we needed, and we did a lot in like post editing, which I do like, you know, motion
Mhm.
graphics for. Very sweet, very funny kid. Now she's like a teenager.
I know. Every time I see any of the super viral internet kids, how they look now, it's like a jump scare. Not because they're all beautiful, please. They're God's children are beautiful, but I'm just like, you grow up, you had braces, like your
Yeah.
voice change. It's just, it's wild, and it's also bittersweet and sad. It makes me sad in a
Yeah.
weird way because I'm just like, damn.
I mean,
Life goes
she's
so fast.
trying to, and she's had a few videos
Pop off these days.
pop off. I mean, in her old days, I don't know if any of the newer ones, but she's certainly still.
What's her name? I can't remember.
Ava something?
It is Ava. You're right. Shout out
think so.
Ava,
Yeah.
Batgirl. Hope you're doing well. If you ever want to come on the show, you
I
have
smell
a-
like beef.
I will kick this guy out with a quickness.
Just don't mention me. She might be like, ooh, that creepy guy.
She'd be like, oh my God, it's him.
She was so nice though.
Let's talk about what you do for a living.
What do? I do like 40 things.
I know. Let's.
The IRS is
Oh,
gonna
and
come
I
to
want
me.
you, and I want you to touch on each 40.
You know what I feel like? Have you ever seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
I have yet to see it.
Oh, it's so good.
I know. I'm sorry. Tomato at my face. I know.
No, it's fine. It's a long movie. It's very long.
I want to watch it for the weird fingers alone.
That's the whole thing. Though it's very similar to Beetlejuice, where it's like
Okay.
going into it, you have to know what you're going into, and you're like, this is not to be taken seriously. Like, yes, seriously in the fact that like it's worthy of awards,
Mhm.
but not serious in the way that like if you're gonna be upset about hot dog fingers, like the movie's not for you, you know?
Is it funny?
Yeah, it has lots of humor in it.
Okay.
It's also very serious. It's also very
I heard it was
profound.
very moving.
Yes, very moving. A big relationship between a mother and her daughter.
Okay. Yeah, I need to bump this to the top of my to-do list.
But anyway, in that movie, they are getting in trouble with the IRS because the mother is like opening all these LLCs and they're like, you're committing fraud. And her husband's like, no. She just has lots of hobbies and she doesn't understand that they're not going to turn into businesses.
Me trying to make something of myself.
See, that's what I feel like.
Relatable.
There's a lot of things that I'm trying to do and I'm like, okay, but if I don't make money off of it, like, because
But how
I
many
don't do it.
LLCs do you have?
One.
Ryan
I
Selvy?
just lump it all under one.
What was the name of it?
Self-built.
Okay, cool.
Because self-made was not available.
Self-made.
Yeah.
I
so
get
self-built.
it.
So I do
Self-build. That's powerful.
Sure. You know,
Okay.
I'll take it.
So you are full-time freelance.
Yes.
You have not worked
A day in my life.
you have not worked a corporate job in how many years now?
Oh, since 2019. I quit right before the pandemic. So I quit in October 2019.
Kind of incredible foresight.
Oh, it was perfect. It was like I had enough time to get my footing and get everything in order. And then once COVID happened and lockdown happened, suddenly everyone needed freelancers. And
Yeah.
so then it was like right when COVID started, like was the best time for business like ever.
Mhm.
And then since then I've just like been able to maintain relationships and stuff.
Incredible. So what is under your freelance umbrella at the moment?
So we have motion graphics. That's a big one. That's just graphic design that moves. That
And
can be
that's
like
what you studied.
no, actually,
Oh.
I studied graphic design. Then I got interested in illustration, and then I missed graphic design, so I kind of went back to it. But they were like, "You're gonna have to add another year if you want to double major." So I was like, "I'll just do a concentration." But then I got a job as a designer at an agency, and then while I was at the agency, I taught myself motion graphics.
Okay.
So
Was this the agency in New York?
the agency in New York is the same agency that was in Maryland. I just moved up with. That's why I moved to New York because the Maryland agency was like, "Hey, we're starting a New York office. Do you want to move up there?" I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Okay, I'm glad you were mentioning this because I wanted to ask. The job moved you here.
2016.
Was that always a part of your plan? Like you eventually wanted to be in
I
New
didn't
York?
think I was going to
really?
come to New York. I thought New York was overpriced and too small.
So sensibly put.
And here we are. It's still overpriced. And
Did
too
you? I
small.
mean, he did not tell a lie. Did you think you were going to stay in Maryland forever,
No, I don't
or did you
know.
want
I
to go
also
somewhere else?
really like the idea of the underdog. I love Baltimore.
Mhm.
It was really interesting because growing up in suburbia, I was taught that Baltimore was really dangerous, and I think there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
I mean, there is obviously a higher crime rate in Baltimore, but
Mhm.
like so much of it is blown out of proportion in the way that okay, well, no, I shouldn't say that because there's obviously very serious crimes that happen.
Yeah.
But the way that people talk about it in Maryland is so crazy that when I went down there and I realized that it wasn't what I was kind of told as the big scary thing, I was like, why doesn't everyone just move to Baltimore? There's plenty of homes, like there's plenty of real estate. There's so much that you could build, but that also might be like, I don't know, it gets so complicated so quickly. I don't want to gentrify anything. I don't want to,
Right.
but part of me really liked Baltimore and the idea that I was like, okay, this is something worth loving. And it feels like a lot of people have given up on. And New York had already been done,
Yeah.
But now I feel like if I go anywhere except New York, like nothing's happening. If something happens,
Classic New York syndrome.
but that's what it is. Like if
No,
something
it-
happens,
honest
like
to God.
there is at least some rendition or facet of it that happens in New York. So even if it's, I don't know, some big event that happens elsewhere in the world, there is still a response to it that happens in New York that is covered on a global scale, which is so weird.
Guess what? You can even get cornfields here in the hit Broadway show. Oh, what is it called?
Some shucked
Something.
Shucked.
Shucked. Yeah. So how many years have you been in New York now?
since 2016. So
Almost a
that's 8.
decade.
Yeah, getting close. Not, 10 years you can call yourself a New Yorker, but you can't.
You'll always be a Maryland boy.
I'm always a Maryland boy. But also now I'm not a Maryland boy because I've been away for too long. So like,
You haven't lived here longer than you've lived in Maryland, though.
no.
Yeah.
No.
So what do you think of New York now?
Love New York.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Do you want to stay here forever?
I'd like to. I mean,
Okay.
but it's also a thing of realistic expectations. I'd like to also have a yard. I mean, when is that gonna, or at least like a a patio.
And you
Just
know
like
what, Ryan?
something
We're
small.
all rooting and banking on you to get that for us. So
Yeah,
you can
right?
throw banger parties and we'll come over and
Exactly.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
No, not to be annoying. I kind of hate when people ask me, do you think you'll live in New York forever? Because I'm like, forever is such a long time. Who's to say? But as of this current moment, I have no plans to leave or no desire to
Yeah.
leave.
And I might be dead tomorrow.
Stop it.
I might be dead in minutes. I used to be
I
really scared of brain
rebuke.
aneurysms. But now I'm kind of like, that'd be cool.
It's
You're
giving
just done.
high anxiety.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Not
talk?
me. Don't know that.
Are you an anxious fellow?
I know. I don't get it. I don't get when people say I have anxiety disorder.
Shut up.
Like, doesn't make sense.
Please, this bitch throws up when he's anxious,
I,
just
I
like
passed
me.
out. I passed out and I was done. I was like, no more anxious for me.
That's another thing me and this hunky man relate on. We puke when we're very anxious.
But my shows, what do you want to know about my shows? Do you want to know about my
About,
specials? You want to know
like,
about my
Plug all the cool projects you're
all the
working
cool
on. Sell
projects?
it.
Oh man, I don't know, dog.
Let's start with File New.
File New. That's my baby. That's the one that I really care about. It's for Adobe Live. It's creator. It's tech, creator, and design news, and it comes on every Wednesday as of now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a live stream. I get an hour-long block, and I like to just cover everything about being a creator and a designer and an artist, and then how that also relates a lot to technology because I like technology a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And how can people watch this?
It's on YouTube, the File New Show. It's on the Adobe Live channel. So I
Okay.
think it's like Adobe Community, I think, or something like that.
Got it.
It has a playlist on there. Yeah, and then it's technically also on Behance, but I say watch it on YouTube.
A question about how you format your show. Do you shoot it live?
I have to.
That's incredible.
That's part of the whole deal. The whole deal is that it's a live stream.
Okay. Y'all have to go check out the show. Your graphics are amazing. The formatting, spectacular. You really do your due diligence, your research. You find really interesting stories. I haven't given you this feedback in real life, and I'm sorry, but I am overdue to give you your flowers. But the show is really well made.
Thanks.
And I love the stories that you source, and it feels so natural because these are your areas of passions and interest, and it translates really well, in my opinion.
Thank you. I'm really inspired by interstitials of Nickelodeon shows of
You know what? There is a Nickelodeon feel to it in the best way, kind of 90s.
Yes, very 90s.
It feels nostalgic. Please, 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 please go check it out. Like, he has poured his heart and soul into it, and it's delicious. Like, it's worth the watch.
Thanks. Changing with a new format, trying to figure it out as of late. So it's always changing. But I just really like live streaming because I like the stuff that you can throw on the screen.
Yeah.
You can really take control of what the audience sees and how they get their attention. And then I also like to use interstitials and segments because it just moves it along. You know? So easy to kind of just ramble and ramble.
You have a silly editing style.
Yeah?
Like a fun, silly. You really know how to infuse fun and jokes and like quirky things that
I
stand
feel
out.
like it feels very millennial of me. I feel like Gen Z rolls their eyes at me.
Not in a cheesy way. It's just in a. I don't even know the correct word for it, but it works.
Oh, thanks. Well, I like it. It's fun.
And then you also do additional streams. Tell us
I
about
haven't
those.
done them in a long time, but for the longest, I started streaming comics, and then I started streaming for Behance, then I started streaming for Adobe Live, and I just like to. We used to do these specials, which were really fun. You and I have that candy one, which is really fun.
Yes, we are going to talk about the
We're gonna
specials.
talk about the specials.
But
And the same sort of thing. I just like to. I can create the graphics that happen, and so it makes it easier to come up with ideas and just run with them. I really like Pee Wee Herman. Anything that has like special vibes to it in the same way that like Casey Musgraves had a Christmas special.
Yes.
I also love Late Night, that format,
Yeah.
although I don't watch it
Same.
anymore.
I love late night too. Sometimes I feel like I take a little bit inspiration from that.
Yeah.
It's different. This is kind of like a hybrid of a few styles that I like. But on those live streams, when you're doing a live stream for a company, isn't it normally to like teach the audience how to use a feature or do something?
Yeah,
And
that's where they get their funding from.
Okay, got it.
So it's definitely to teach different ways of using the programs, of the Adobe
Okay.
programs.
so you're a professor.
Oh, yeah, you wish. Professor
Selvy.
Professor Daddy Selvy.
I specifically love the one that you did with editing my cat into places he doesn't belong in pictures. That was
That
really
was so
cute
last
and fun.
minute, too, which is funny.
I feel like it was one of the better performing ones because it's like
Oh,
personal,
man,
it's cute.
everyone loves a cat on a pool
cats.
floating.
Everyone loves cat, so you are a cat daddy.
Cat Daddy through and through.
He came up. Let's talk about
He
it.
came up. Purr.
Tell us all about that handsome man
Well,
you're raising.
Hopefully he's not dead by the time this goes.
Stop, Ryan.
I gotta do it.
Ryan.
If I don't do it, then it.
This man is so riddled with anxiety.
That's not anxiety. That's just realistic
I mean,
expectation.
tell the audience what you're talking about, please.
He has a heart condition, and one of his like arteries doesn't work or something like that. So might just fail at any moment. But he seems fine now.
He seems great.
He is quite the drama queen. So loves me, loves my fiance, but is a little bit territorial for everybody else.
Super dada's boy.
Super daddy's boy.
He loves his dads, plural, and that's it.
But mostly me.
Yeah, Ryan's his number one. I mean, you're also home with him all the time.
I'm also home all the time. So
He's literally your sidekick. Okay, let's talk about the specials that you do. So tell me how this began. What made you come up with this idea and why you wanted to do it?
as with all things COVID,
Okay.
it was COVID. So COVID hit China in 2019 of December, but it hit us in March. The scary part happened in December, right?
Yeah.
Like people started
Where
dying
they
in
started-
October, but then like December, it was like, oh wait, no, this is going to not just be like people are
Yeah.
sick. Like
That's when they started throwing up hospitals overnight.
yeah, okay. But then as Americans, we still were like, we're fine. Like nothing works on a global scale, so we were chill until March or whatever.
Entirely too chill.
But as with my anxiety with anything, like I shut it down. Like I remember beginning of March, I was smart. I didn't buy a bunch of toilet paper. I bought a bidet. I was like, if there's not going to be toilet paper, we're going to respond and we're going to get a bidet.
He's always thinking 10 steps ahead.
So I wasn't someone who was like, robbing the entire grocery store. I made sure we picked our stuff up, but I had gotten food and stuff so that we did not have to leave the apartment because I was like, this thing is like AIDS. I don't know.
I also have to provide context. How many roommates did you have at the time?
At the time, it was 3.
That was more.
Well, at a point, it got up to 6, including myself.
Which honestly, now knowing you better, I'm surprised you were comfortable living.
Oh,
with-
I love roommates. I love roommates.
I know, but like during like
I can
a
thrive.
pandemic.
Oh yeah, I can thrive with 6 roommates.
Okay.
My fiance, absolutely not.
Fair.
He does not want roommates, which I also respect.
Yeah.
But I am very of the mentality of like, oh, cool, I can walk out in the living room and hang out with a friend, and I don't have to leave the apartment.
Now Ryan and his fiance have moved into their own separate apartment, but your former apartment really was the spot for quite a few years.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, it was
apartment.
kind
a
of
good
just
apartment.
like anyone stop by. It felt very Friends to me.
Yeah.
Like just like pop in whenever, drop by whenever. It was a really cute time.
Yeah, we were locked in. It was Christmas time. I'm a big holiday guy. Vaccine wasn't out yet, so I still wanted everyone to stay in. And I
And
was
all
like,
of you
okay.
stayed home and did not leave.
2 roommates there. It ended up being me and one couple
Okay.
for the majority of COVID. But come Christmas, it was me, that couple, my fiance, the other roommate, and the girl he was seeing. And so it was 6 people. I was like, well, we're locked in. Might as well make a show out of it, make a special out of it. And so everyone had nothing better to do. So everyone wanted to participate. And we turned it into a big, like, Pee Wee Herman Christmas special, Casey Musgraves. What other ones? I'm like, suddenly I can't think of any of the other ones, but I watch them every single year. But it ended up being just like this variety show,
Yeah.
kind of late night style.
I mean,
And
you
then, yeah,
decked out your apartment.
decked it out.
Everyone
baby.
had separate segments. Like, what were some of the segments people did?
Oh, we had Ask Santa Claus questions. Blair did a bunch of cooking. Aaron did wreath decorating. Rico and Jillian did a song. I had people all over the internet send different stuff in, different logo designs and stuff, different theming. And yeah.
That's so fun. I'm definitely putting in little bits and pieces and segments here in the YouTube version only. So if you want to see, head on over to Let Me Be Fronk YouTube. Talk about making lemonade out of lemons. Because, I mean, honestly, that Christmas was super depressing. I mean, it was just so out of the norm of what everyone was used to. And
But it's also wild because I thrived for a little bit, which was
Yeah.
crazy. Because also COVID also taught me that, and also we're like filming this in 2024. This sounds like we're filming it in 2022. But I thrived for a little bit, and I was like, "What's the big deal, guys? Like, we're just get to hang out and play video games at home. This is awesome."
spoken like a true recluse.
Yeah, and I always thought I was super extroverted, and then COVID happened, and I was like, "Oh, there's a little bit of introvert there."
Yeah.
And I did really, really well. And then it wasn't until like maybe the end of summer of 2020 that I finally like had a bad day, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is what this is."
Reader,
So-
it took him 2 years to have a bad day
No,
in the middle of the
no, like 4 months, 4 or 5 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then it was a little bit more regular or whatever. But I found things like the specials as a way to get out of any sort of rut because it was something exciting, something that was unique. It made COVID feel like a snowstorm again, kind of like how it did in March when we first locked down and it felt like a snowstorm. And so, I mean, I hate the winter months and I always need to find something to, even when COVID's not going on, like I hate the winter months. They just drain you.
And then these shows turned into a tradition.
They turned into a tradition. We did Christmas, we did Halloween, we did Valentine's Day. I think those are the 3 ones that we've done. And we've done Halloween and Christmas multiple times.
Yes.
So.
And I've had the honor and the privilege of being on at least one Halloween special.
Halloween special.
And I think I did a Christmas one too. I can't remember.
Did you do the Family Feud?
Yes.
Yeah, so you did
that
the
was
Christmas special.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, really fun times. I know it's so much work and it seems like you don't have the time to do it right now this season.
Gotta plan a wedding.
Not to he has bigger fish to fry at the moment, but I hope one day you do bring it back because it is so cute and fun.
I also would like to have a space for it because I mean part of its charm was the fact that it was crammed into whatever apartment I was actively in, but also as a just living situation, it doesn't necessarily make sense when you're walking through the set to make breakfast 3 days before the special.
It's a lot to, film stuff in the place where you live, but it's okay. We make it work.
We make it work.
Lemons out of lemonade. Nope.
Lemons out of lemonade, please. Reverse that.
No, but I think you're really good at the specials. I know it's a huge undertaking and it kind of turns into sometimes a stressful thing for you.
Yeah, dog. Just like everything else.
Please know that fantastic memories have been made. I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Thanks.
And I especially loved the Halloween candy tasting one.
Yeah, dog.
All right, everyone. It's time for me to introduce a new segment I'm calling Fronk 5. Every episode, a guest or myself will share 5 things about a niche topic. It may be educational, entertaining, or an opinions-based list, but I'm leaving that fun up to the messenger. Any questions? Okay, amazing. Ryan, we are ready for your Fronk 5. What are you sharing with us today?
Let's talk about apps, dude.
Yes.
Apps.
As in phone applications.
Phone application. I haven't gotten the new iPhone yet.
As we have already covered in this conversation, Ryan is a tech whiz. He is always finding the coolest, most random apps and telling me about them. So I begged him to please come and share 5 apps with you. And he's doing that now.
Right now. Go. Okay. Number 1, I'm gonna. Well, should I do the best for last or best for first? Let's just do number 1. Number 1, Run P. RUNPEE. Like when you have to run and you have to pee, and you look up the different movie that is currently playing. It's ran by this one family. I don't know what they do, but they all go to the movies and they identify different times when you should pee, and it gives you cues. So it'll be you're watching Finding Nemo when they say something I'm going to go touch the butt, which would be a horrible time to actually go to the bathroom.
I agree.
In this case, we're going to pretend that it's good time. Then it'll be when Nemo says, I'm going to go touch the butt, you have about 2 minutes and 45 seconds until something else interesting happens. Go. And then so you go, and then you get a little synopsis that says, while you're gone for that 2 minutes and 45 seconds, this is what happens.
That's so funny. And okay, so is it just this family doing it, or are users allowed to?
No.
Okay.
It's just a family.
And there are hundreds of movies.
I mean, they do all the movies that, are coming out. So it's just built up and built up. And they tend to have them even on the weekend of its release. So I don't know what they do. I don't know if they have a screener's pass or what, if they've finagled whatever. But it even tells you who wrote them, and it'll be the picture of them and the family, and it's 4 or 5 of them.
I love a family passion project.
It's just wild. I don't know how they do it.
So RunP, the app where it tells you when you can leave a movie to go use the bathroom, and you're not going to miss too much or important parts of the film. Yeah. Love it. Next,
11 Reader, which is from 11 Labs. It's text to speech, but it can be any voice that you make.
Okay.
So I just took a sample of producer Allie's voice, and then I can have her read the articles to me at any given point off of my phone.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Yeah.
Can you explain it more?
Well, you can tell me if this sounds like Allie.
Is it changing a voice or?
No. It's taking the article and it's making Allie read it. So she's breathing heavily.
You just get a little snippet of her voice, and then it can read a whole article in that same voice. Wild.
And that has its own ethical issues, but that's for another time.
Yeah. And that was called what again?
It's called 11 Reader.
11 Reader.
All right, so let's
Have you used this?
Oh, I use this all the time.
Really?
Here we go.
Do you get it to read it in your voice so you don't have to?
No, I don't. Maybe I should though.
You're I don't have time to look at it. I'm just gonna have it I'm gonna read this to myself.
Yeah, right. Like I don't have to put in the effort for it. So like, let's see if this plays. It has to
Okay.
transcribe it first, I think, and then it goes for it. Normally it's faster than this though.
We're getting a little snippet.
So let's see. I could also make sure I identify it's the right person. All right, we're gonna do this person.
The less effort, the faster and more powerful you will be.
Producer Allie's voice.
That
is spooky.
It's not loading though.
Okay,
So I guess
read
we'll have to
11.
go on with the story.
Next.
Sequel is the next one.
Okay.
That's kind of fun. You can track all of the things that you want to watch, from TV and movies to games to books, and then it will give you updates as to like when they're released, where you can watch them, and then you can also like track off like what you've watched and what you haven't watched, down to the
Cool.
episode, so you can keep track of all your collections.
Wow. That is for really organized nerdy types.
But that's just because the thing that it really is you've done it 1,000 times. You're at a party and someone's like, "Oh my god, you have to watch this one thing," and you're like, "Oh my god, I'll add it to the list." And then you go home and you never add it to the list.
Wow.
So when I sit down to watch something and Aaron and I go, "What do you want to watch?" I go, "Let me check the list." Like that,
You
every
tech
single time.
boy. You application boy.
And also you get little notifications that are like, by the way, this is out, the thing that you were excited about.
Does it notify you if something goes to streaming?
I pay for it, so yeah.
Oh, okay,
That's a paid
rich.
feature, but
How much is it? If you feel safe to share, how much is a monthly subscription?
Safe to share. STS. How much is it?
Amazing. We're coining that.
STS.
Yeah.
Oh, a month is $2.99.
Okay.
A year is $20, which is
So the
steep, but
year
I love it, so I
is
pay for it.
the year makes more sense
Yeah.
financially. So that was sequel.
Then I like Ground News. Have you ever heard of Ground News?
I have
before?
not. What is ground news?
Ground News is a website. I think it's AI. Heneko, right? But it's AI in the way that it sorts through news articles and determines what is a blind spot for the right and what is a blind spot for the left, and gives you like a percentage of which leaning side of a political segment news organization is reporting on something.
Wow.
And so it's a really easy way to get out of my echo chamber and be able to see what is a blind spot for the other side, what is a blind spot for my side, and then what is like being covered universally.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So it analyzes for biases.
And for biases, it'll pull up and it'll tell you all the headlines for each of it, like and what the system is identifying it as, if it's right or left. And you can kind of flip through it and see each thing, how they kind of switch it. And it's amazing. It's terrifying. It's beautiful. It's the worst thing. I don't pay for it, and I use it enough. It even has a little widget that I have on my home screen that just has the top blind spots for the day and the breaking news for the day, which are all really depressing. So I'm not going to read those, actually.
So you use this often.
Yeah, I check it all the time when I pick up my
Wow.
phone. So
And what was that name of the app one more time?
Ground News.
Ground News. Definitely looking into that one.
And then
Next.
Next is Dex, DEX. And this is a personal CRM, which if you don't know what a CRM is, it is a customer's relation manager, I think.
Okay.
Well, I think we were just talking about this, right?
Blurp, blurp, blurp. Make it make sense.
Customer relationship management is the combination of practices, strategies, and technologies that companies use to manage and analyze customer interactions and data throughout the customer life cycle.
Did y'all get that? Okay.
Write that down. But Dex is a personal one where rather than customers, you do it with people. And I'm better some months at it than other months. But you can add a cadence as to when you want to talk to people. And kind of follow up, and then you can also take notes as to like what you talked about in those conversations.
Oh, wow.
I've been off of it for like a month or two. I need to get back on it.
I'm pretty sure you showed this to me a few years ago. You're like, this is really helpful at networking events.
Yep.
When you meet someone, put in their contact info, maybe make a little note about what you talked about, their background, etc.
Like literally anything. If you remember anything, people get really excited about it. It also gives you something to talk about.
Listening is an invaluable skill, and I'm practicing it every day. It will send you notifications.
You can set up notifications if you want. I can be like,
That's
I want to
amazing.
talk to Nikisha every 3 weeks. And then every 3 weeks, it's like, yo, time to talk to Nikisha.
Okay, so definitely recommending that for the networkers out there.
Yes, definitely good for networking. Good for extended family, honestly.
Oh, you know what?
Like talk to grandma, have a little message, be like, this is what grandma's excited about every 3 weeks.
Whatever's going to make you call your grandparents more, and you should if they're still living. Shout out G-Pops and G-Ma who always watch my show. I love you. Thank you for sharing. That was fascinating. Everyone, go check out those apps and let me know what you think in the comments, specifically on YouTube. All right, Ryan. So in the spirit of Halloween.
Love it.
And the former Halloween special you put on, I believe, last year? Year before?
Year before. I don't know, something like that.
Okay, damn.
What's your favorite holiday?
Halloween.
Halloween's your favorite holiday?
I love Halloween.
Okay, it's your number one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so. Okay.
Good.
So once upon a time, for one of Ryan Selvy's amazing Halloween specials, we did a candy tasting segment. So I got you a few snacks.
Yes.
For being such an amazing guest today. And I came across something. He's a big Reese's guy, and he also loves
Reese's.
chocolate covered pretzels. So
Yep.
I took the liberty of purchasing these Reese's dip pretzels. Have you tried these before?
I've not tried these before.
I have not tried these either. Please don't get it twisted. This episode is absolutely not sponsored by Reese's, but we are open
should
for
blur it out.
collabs and partnerships and all the above. So let's do a little on-camera taste test. Like,
What's your
throwing
favorite
it-
candy?
Throwing it back to like we did that one time.
Way back when we were much younger and more youthful and beautiful.
Here, guest. What's my favorite candy?
Favorite candy.
I mean, I do really, really love Reese's, but I'm going to say anything chocolate. Favorite candy? You're crazy. Okay, so this is a Reese's dip pretzel.
I put it in my mouth
They
already.
are bite-sized pretzels dipped in peanut butter candy and drizzled with milk chocolate. Cheers.
Oh, I put it in my mouth already. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Cheers.
That makes it better.
All right, let's see. Oh. We can mute. It's like ASMR. This is a winner.
She's gonna
Home run.
crinkle and just sit here and just like eat them for the
Those
rest
are
of
good. I actually think they're better than just regular chocolate covered pretzels. You're such a freak. You feel like my kid brother sometimes.
Well,
Yeah.
we're never gonna have to wait.
Are you insane?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
We are good. We gotta get the sugar up. Listen, me and Daddy have been working all day.
Daddy? Oh, okay. Sure.
You said to call you Daddy.
I told you to tell me a lot of things. What does that mean? I don't know.
Okay, those are great.
These are delicious.
Yeah. Okay. These are for you. Take
I know,
them
but
home.
I can't eat them right now because my mouth will just be full the whole time. But wait, what's your favorite? What did you say your favorite candy was?
I mean, probably Reese's.
Okay.
Anything chocolate.
So
I
favorite
love chocolate.
favorite holiday is Halloween, and your favorite candy is Reese's.
Absolutely.
It just sounds like you're copying me. What's your fiance's name?
Aaron.
See? Oh my god.
Trick question. I am not engaged
See?
or in a
Well
relationship,
done. But you
but I
got
love
those
it. It's
wicked
by
nails.
choice. But it's by choice because I don't settle. Anyways, okay. Moving back to.
And
the
she won't date
interview.
me. We tried.
Speaking of love, tell us all about how you met the love of your life, Mr. Aaron Karlstrom.
I guess it goes back to what we were just doing, eating fast.
Okay, tell the whole story.
No, I know, but I sound like such like a. So I used Tinder. You heard of it? You ever used Tinder?
Yes. Yeah.
See, but Tinder for you is different than what Tinder was for me back in 2019. Like
And
when
the-
I say Tinder 2019, what do you think?
I'm thinking of Tinder in 2019.
Yeah, but like, what do you use it for? Getting laid? You are a Christian woman. You would never do that.
Here's my thing with Tinder. I only used Tinder in college when it first came out. Like, so I'm talking 2013, 2014. I was probably only on it for a few months, and then I just was like, this is not.
Yeah, I
doing
was
it
in
for
elementary
me.
school, so it was too early for me.
Shut up. And I kind of caught on like, oh, people are using this for like sex, and I wasn't like really personally there yet. I
Yeah.
just wanted like to kiss and have a
Virgin.
boyfriend.
What? Oh.
It's not anyone's
Oh,
business.
yeah, your grandma watches this.
And nothing is wrong
Hey, Grandma
with
Frank.
being a late in life virgin. Tinder in 2019.
Yeah. So for the gays, this is for you. The gays, we have so many things to get laid. That like by the
You
time
really
you get
do.
yeah, you have well, not Tinder, because Tinder kind of is the outlier. But I mean, you had
Grindr?
and
Scruff?
Scruff and Hornet and Jacked and Manfinder, and now there's Sniffies. There were like all these other ones that are there.
One thing about gay men, they're gonna find another gay man.
They're gonna find another gay man. So if you were on Tinder, it was like kind of like you're looking for something.
And was
but like
that
a-
your
like a-
intention?
A relationship thing more so than anything
Okay.
else. We started talking sometime around 4th of July. I went on our first date. I ate my food too fast. And I thought I didn't like him. But
Because you thought you were trying to leave the date.
I was trying to
early.
leave the date. Yeah.
So you absolutely housed your dinner.
I have like that gif of Patrick. You know what I mean?
Amazing social cut coming soon. Are you in general a fast eater?
Oh, I'm a big fast eater.
Okay.
But I also like don't think I take things seriously enough. So at the end, he was like, "You want to do this again?" I was like, "I guess."
Was that really your
Yeah.
attitude?
Yeah, and he didn't really like it.
Oh, you were joking with him?
I was joking, but he didn't know my humor yet.
Oh my God, Ryan, you almost fumbled.
I always fumble.
No.
It's not the worst date I've ever been on, though.
So then how did you get to date 2 after those?
Well, I wanted to see Toy Story 4, and he was like, "No, let's go to the movies, but I want to see Midsummer." And those are 2 very different movies.
2 completely different vibes.
Yeah.
So what did you end up seeing?
We saw Midsummer.
What'd you think of it?
I watched somebody's head get bashed into a rock.
Hey, no spoilers. Come on.
That's not the only thing. If that's the worst thing that happens, ooh, oh, buddy.
Hey-oh. So you're going on these dates. When did you start to think like, oh, this might like I
Very
think,
fast.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I was Aaron's first date in the city. He was at a very long line of other people.
That's right. He was fresh to the city.
He was fresh to the city, and he was like, "Oh, dating in New York is so easy." And I was like, "I have seen years."
It all. So were you looking to be in a relationship at that point?
Oh yeah, 100%.
That was the goal.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So then when did you make it a fish?
Not too long after, like a month after, I think.
Oh, daddy knew.
Daddy knew.
I love it. And here we are
Here we are. 5 years later.
5 years later and
Not married.
engaged.
Not married,
Show him the
engaged.
ring. Show him the ring. When did you propose?
I proposed last August, so a little bit over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
He thought I was breaking up with him. Well, apparently I started it bad. I said we've had a good run.
Ryan, you're insane. You're an insane person.
I guess I don't know how my words come
Paired
off.
with his anxiety and like you choosing interesting phrases.
I guess so.
Recipe for disaster. But he said yes.
Yeah. I
Wait,
hope
tell
so.
us about the photographer. I like
Oh,
this detail.
well, she hid in the bushes at the garden. And when we sat down where we were going to do it, he pointed over to the photographer and was like, "Oh, look, a gardener finishing up their day." And I was like, "Don't look there."
Shout out to
And
that
shout out to that gardener. She's great at photographs.
No, shout out to that photographer. She really committed to the
She
bit.
really committed to the bit. She did. She sent me a text message beforehand. She's like, "I want to wear this hat so I look like a gardener." And then he pointed to her and said, "Look at that gardener." So,
That's hilarious. Of course, Aaron would notice and see that.
yeah.
For those of us who haven't been in love, how do you know? Like,
How do you know?
how do you know it's your person?
Oh,
It's one
man,
thing
that's
to be
tough,
like,
though.
I want to be in a relationship with this person, but when did the tides change for you when you're like, oh, this is like my life partner and I think this is a forever thing?
I mean, it helps that I was in a lot of other bad relationships.
Shout out to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of them also were me too. Like I can admit I was the bad part of some relationships.
Mhm.
Like not having my stuff together.
Mhm. And thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah. No, it was just something where it was like I felt safe and secure. And I think that's probably the biggest one.
I love that.
Like not in a way of like safe and security for like settling, but like in the way that I whether it's warranted or not, felt like I could trust this person jumping out of a building, you know?
Wow.
Like, so
And be your 100% authentic self with them.
Yep.
I love that. And I love your fiance, Aaron. I wish he was here to make a cameo, but it's okay next time. Yeah, you two are honestly one of the most special couples I've ever met. So loving.
Ooh, that's
I think you have
scary.
no, it's not. It's
That's
a
scary.
beautiful thing.
Well, hopefully we
have,
don't mess
like,
it
a
up. If we get
really-
divorced, like boom.
You won't. I'm really not worried about you two, but
Should I do alimony? Not alimony. What's it called?
well,
Prenup?
okay, here's
I put the cat in my prenup.
here's the thing
cat
about
is in
prenups.
my prenup.
Here's the thing I heard about prenups, which makes so much sense to me. So prenups have like this bad rap or whatever, being like, oh, you're rooting for divorce or whatever. No, a prenup is merely an insurance policy. And if you don't co-sign your own insurance policy, you automatically have to subscribe to whatever your state laws are.
Yeah.
So unless you don't agree 100% with your state laws, that's a huge reason why you should get a prenup. I'm very pro prenup. I will be getting a prenup.
If Aaron wants my $12, he's gonna have to work for
Oh,
it.
please. No, you have 40 jobs, please. You have more than $12. Come on.
13.
Rich.
$13.
And he has a car. Please do the math.
Oh, and it's a sexy car.
It is.
Oh, yeah,
SUV.
the-
Beep, beep.
Beep beep. All those scratches on it. So good.
Okay. I've never seen a scratch, but all right.
Oh, really?
No.
That's another time I almost died. I almost died twice in a car.
Ryan, now is the time of the show where I must ask you the essential question, which is, what is something you would like to be frank about?
The Christmas Story is a bad movie.
Go on.
It's terrifying, and everyone likes it, and everyone thinks it's charming, and it's a bad movie.
Are you talking about the one with...
You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Okay.
It's a horrible movie.
Okay, why do you hate it so much?
Oh, because it's terrifying. He shoots his eye out. They put him in that little bunny costume.
What parts of it are terrifying to you?
All of it.
Really?
When was the last time you watched it?
I don't know. Probably a few
You'd
years
be
ago.
you'd be in a cold sweat if you remembered.
No, there's something uncomfy about the movie.
The whole thing. He sticks his tongue to the thing. Should I like put my tongue on
Oh my
the mic?
gosh. I think about that all the time. Every time I see a little germy kid on the subway licking it, I'm like,
Like freeze it.
You don't even
Freeze
know.
it to it.
You don't even know.
Santa's mean. Santa's a jerk. He kicks someone down the slide.
Mm-hmm.
The dad is like weirdly obsessed with this leg lamp thing.
Yeah. He
They beats up the
Eee.
other kid. He just sits on top and just like wails around.
honestly, that was a moment. That kid deserved it.
It's a terrifying movie.
Terrifying. Okay. So you're not a fan
Also,
of A Christmas Story.
Meet the Parents.
Why don't you like Meet the Parents?
Too stressful.
Why?
The whole time it's like everything's going wrong. Kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Oh God.
Okay, so you hate when things are always going wrong.
It's terrible.
So did you like The Office?
It was fine enough.
Did it
was
make you
good.
uncomfortable and stressed
No.
at times?
I guess I never put myself in their shoes. I more felt like in The Office I would have been somebody else that was watching people do bad things. Whereas like Meet the Parents, I'm like, oh yeah, I could totally see myself flailing, trying to do the right thing, and then the wrong thing just keeps happening.
How did your first interaction with your fiance's parents and family go?
How did it go? It was Thanksgiving. I wore a turtleneck, which I never have worn since.
Damn.
And yeah, it was fine. I was really nervous. It
Yeah.
was fine. I bought all new clothes.
You're so cute.
Never wore most of them again.
You are so cute, trying to make a good
Trying to
impression.
make a good impression. But
Also, that's
I mean,
classic. Like, this is a serious relationship. You're coming
Yeah.
home for a holiday with me.
yeah, it was cool. It was good. What is the famous movie that you don't like that everybody likes?
I did not watch the Harry Potter series till last year for the first time. It was part of my bucket list. If you know, you know. If you've been around, I did this series where I did 29 new things before I turned 30 to close out my 20s. And one of them was watch the Harry Potter series because I had never read the books or watched the movies growing up. And I'm really glad I made the time to do it because now I understand a lot more pop culture references. I'm not saying I hate it by any means, but I definitely miss the moment of magic.
Yeah,
I wasn't overly impressed, I'm sorry to say.
makes sense. I mean, you're at a disadvantage to the point of like
Yeah.
you didn't grow up with it.
I think it would have been totally different. If I saw it in theater as a kid, I think
Yeah.
my mind would have been blown because those were like cutting edge graphics at the time and special effects and all that.
And your brain can still go there as a child to be like, oh, that could really happen.
Right. But I don't know. My house was very anti witchcraft and things like that, which is so ironic because I love witch culture now.
They failed you.
Yeah. So I just never got into the hoopla of it all.
Witch, witch, witch.
What is a big movie?
I mean, that's a pretty big one. That's a pretty big franchise right there. They're making a new TV series.
I know there are movies I don't like. Groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking.
I can't think.
Movie creators hate her.
I'm sorry. I just like that. I can't think of any at this time. That was my answer.
That was a good answer.
Okay. What else did you want to ask
That's
me?
it, Your Honor.
Not show host being show host.
Show host being show host with the show most.
Did you like my showrunner joke at the beginning?
What was it?
I was like, move over variety because you know how
yes,
they do
I
like
did. I laughed at it. It was
director
a
on
good
director.
Director on director. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Thank you.
Top notch.
Well, thank you for sharing your Let Me Be Fronks.
I'm trying to think of other awful things I can say. See if you have to keep them
It's
in.
not like it doesn't even have to be super negative.
So it can be positive.
It can be anything you want.
I
Anything you want to be frank about.
I love mint chocolate chip with peanut butter.
That's
cream.
so unique. Didn't Aaron make you a cake once that
Yeah, he
had both
made
of
me.
those
He
things?
made me a mint chocolate chip ice cream cake with peanut butter and chocolate.
That is so unique. I will have to try that sometime.
unique. He hated it.
Ryan, I have so enjoyed this conversation and this time with you. I want to sincerely thank you for making the time to come. I know you're a busy guy. You are on camera a lot. It's probably not the first thing you want to do, but thank you. And I also want to say
First
thank
thing I do
you.
want to do. Can't wait to come back.
I will definitely be having you back. I have some ideas.
Next episode, co-show.
I need a.
Let Me Be Frank with Alyssa and Ryan. Every
honestly,
show.
Ryan,
Every show
honestly,
now on.
If I did have to do a co-host, you're in the top running.
Running?
I have a few people I have
Who
good
else?
chemistry with.
Who? Name them. Name them.
My sister, Jonathan Fronk.
Oh, boo. Boring.
No, sibling dynamics.
Let Me
are-
Be Frank. Boring.
You love Jonna. Stop it.
Don't know her.
Lies.
She's
They
bad taste in
literally
music.
they text about Billie Eilish.
She doesn't text me back.
She doesn't
so we
text. She's
don't
so
text.
busy.
I've tried to
She's
text.
a new mom.
Does she have a baby? Billy was her first
She's
baby.
busy.
She just needs to not neglect her first child.
Yeah, she's gonna text you back one of these days.
One of these days.
Probably when she's watching this episode.
Maybe.
But no, I also want to say thank you for being so supportive to me and my endeavors. And I will say,
To your
like, a
face.
little peek behind the curtain. Ryan is always helping me with Premiere, which I am learning basically on my own. He has answered many a frantic FaceTime call, being like, Ryan, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me with this? And he's helped make some graphics. Actually, the opening trailer, the Let Me Be Fronk, the zooming in of his work. And if you watch the credits on YouTube, you would know that. Also, fun fact, hot producer Allie, the producer for my show, and shout out to, you know what, I'm going to actually take a video of Allie so you can see what she is doing. She is running set.
Get the Band-Aid.
No.
Oh,
She is
and the
running
not
set.
matching socks. One sock has
She's
flowers on
keeping
it.
an eye on the audio. She is holding it down for me. Allie is my right hand. I couldn't put on the show without her. She runs all my camera, lights, tech equipment, and helps me do a bunch of stuff. So thank you, Allie. Shout out. But Allie has also been Ryan's producer.
It's been a nightmare.
You're lying through your teeth. So there was a point in
Remember
time
now?
where she was scurrying to his apartment and then like running back to mine because we live in the same building. How cute and funny is that?
Yeah.
We have the same producer.
It's a highlight of my career.
She said it's been a
I
highlight
think,
of my
like,
career.
Ryan, thank you so much for making the time to do this. I know you're a very busy guy, and it really means a lot that you walked all the way over to the other side of the building to be on my show.
Do I get to bill for travel?
You're not getting paid. Anyways, I also have to say thank you because you've always been so supportive of me and my creative endeavors, and it's really heartening and special to have another creative so close to me and one that I look up to, and I hope to be as successful and as cool as you one day. Mama wants to get paid, but that's the big goal right now. You know?
I'm not getting paid. You just told me.
I'm not paying you. Adobe's paying you.
I'm just saying there's nothing to look up to.
Bitch,
I'm not getting paid.
Bill that corporation, okay? I'm a small business, please. Him and Aaron are such good neighbors to me. They always invite me over, include me and stuff. You really do feel like part of my family here in Brooklyn, so thank you for that.
Your family.
And I love you so much.
Love
and
you.
if people want to connect with you, how can they do that? and where?
RyanSelvy.com.
And then there's hyperlinks to all the places you are.
Yeah, I mean, on Instagram, it's just Ryan Selvy. And then on Blue Sky, it's RyanSelvy.com.
Please go check out his show.
Please go check out
It's
RyanSelvy.com
really
so you stop
good.
saying it.
Thank you all for tuning in to Let Me Be Fronk. Again, I'm your host, Alyssa Fronk, and this is a bi-weekly show that comes out every other Wednesday on YouTube. It's made for YouTube, and I highly recommend Apple and Spotify. If you'd like to connect, you can send an email to letmebefronk@gmail.com. Please follow us at Let Me Be Fronk Show on Instagram and our new Let Me Be Fronk TikTok. That's right. We are getting on the TikToks. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support. Love you so much. See you next time.
And I'm your co-host.